Alright everyone, I'm here to give you my Walking Dead review. And this one's called Infected, and this one makes a lot of sense. Um, and It came out on October 20th, 2013, and it starts out with a mouse. I think it was actually a mouse walking on the fence, and the walkers eat him. Kind of how it starts off, and then Tyrese uh, and his girlfriend are kissing. Never find out her name. Um, and he says he can't stop thinking about Zach, and he talks about how he talks too much, but she said that she likes it, so they were kind of flirting. Then he sends us on, and then she's gonna go, and he wants to stay in a cell, but I guess she says she's not ready for that. So then she goes off in the bathroom where Patrick died, and where he became zombified, and I thought Patrick was gonna actually pop out and eat her, but that didn't happen. Um, and then well, after she leaves the bathroom, zombified Patrick pops up, and he was going to I guess eat her, but then he hears somebody else, and he goes into that guy's cell and eats him. I thought that was actually really awesome, and this guy wasn't. It was just totally unexpected. So then it cuts to the theme song, and then it cuts to the real time, and we see Rick and Carl are doing work. They're doing like farm work, feeding the pigs, and Rick talks, and Carl wants to start killing the walkers like everybody else does, just stabbing them. And Rick says that he has plans, and he's like, "Well, can I do it?" And then Rick says, "Well, when I meant you, I meant we." And I guess Rick isn't really into killing the walkers anymore. He's not into being involved. He wants to work. I don't really think since he's not the leader anymore, he wants to make the shots. So then Carl apologizes, says he's trying, and he says, "I know you are." And then he says, and then Carl asks for his gun, and before Rick can answer, we see Mika and Lizzie come out, and they're screaming, they're freaking out. And I forgot to mention too earlier that Marshawn had gone out to hunt for the governor, and Maggie and Glenn were sleeping in the tower. And this is actually a really funny scene. Glenn took a picture of her while she was sleeping, which was hilarious. But yeah, they come out and they're freaking out because there's walkers in one of the cells. So they go kill them. And we see a lot of people. One of them looked like Beth. I thought Beth had died through this, but I guess she didn't. And Rick gets everyone to safety, and they kill them all. And then they see what's happened to Patrick, and we find doing all this too. Rashawn had gotten into it, and Rick had told Carl to go into the tower with Maggie, but he had to go save Rashawn. So he takes the gun and shoots the walkers, and one of the walkers gets put into the booby trap, and doing this, Mashana tripped and I think got stabbed. So they had to bring her. They had to bring her to safety. So then we find out that there's this, I guess, a new disease going around. So now it's not just the walkers. Now there's like a flu going around where you die from it. And Patrick died because he choked on his blood, and they have a new doctor now. I forget his name, but I'll probably hear his name. So they have a meeting about it. Herschel, Daryl, Glenn, Carol, who, by the way, Lizzie and Mika father had gotten bit, so he wanted Carol to take care of them, his daughters Lisa and Mika, like he was her own. Wanted him to protect them like it was her own, and she agrees. And he wants he wants to see his daughters one last time, and he and he tells one of them to take care of your sister. I don't really know which one because I'm not really. I just met these characters pretty much, and Carol has to kill him before he turns, but one of them, the older one, wants to be the one to do it. It says that He's our dad. We should be the one to do it. So she's about to do it, but she can't bring herself to do it. So Kayla ends up having to do it herself. And then everybody had a meeting about what to do, and they talked about how to keep everybody quarantined. They're gonna keep everyone that was in that room from getting infected quarantined. And Daryl's gonna go bury the bodies, and he has to actually wear a mask now so he doesn't get infected. Um, and then Keller asks if Daryl's okay, and he says that he's fine. And later on, Kalo sees the older one and tells her that she's weak. He doesn't really insult her, but says that you need to be strong, that you have to kill, that you have to follow your instincts, and you have to kill when you have to kill. That's kind of pretty much what she says. And yeah, it was kind of that. And later on, eventually she agrees and says that that wasn't your dad that got killed. That was a walker. So then later on too, she confronts Carl and says she doesn't want Carl to tell Rick about that she's teaching people how to use weapons, because she thinks that if she tells her parents that they wouldn't understand. So Carl says that it's just between you and them, but then she says that it's between you and me. You can't tell Rick. And Carl doesn't want to lie to his dad, but Kayla says not it's not a lie. You don't have to lie. Just don't say anything. So I guess he agreed. Well, so we think. So then what happens? Then Carl, before that, Carl had found out about the disease, and throughout this episode, Michonne was getting treated to by Beth, and Judith starts crying, and Judith actually too, is pretty they're pretty concerned too about she'll get infected by this disease, by this what's it called, flu. So yeah, so then they treat to her, so he treats to, but yeah, she starts crying, and Michonne doesn't really like it. She doesn't like the baby. She doesn't really seem to like Judith that much, and she even asked Beth, "Why did you guys help me out if you guys knew you were gonna get hurt?" So yeah, you can. Beth, she doesn't really seem to get. She's not really like in a loving mood yet. Um, then later on, she had to hold Judith, and she didn't want to, but she didn't have a choice. And then she started crying, which I thought was actually funny because Judith wasn't gonna cry. That made Judith stop crying. So then the walkers, the fence is about to cave in because the walkers are getting in, and they start stabbing him. And Rick was kind of hesitating to stab him, so they had to find a new way to get the walkers away. So what Rick does is he gets the pigs, and he cutting them and throwing them at the walkers, and they eat them. So then later on, and it looks like he didn't really want to do this too, because I guess he liked the pigs. I was kind of sad because pigs are my favorite animal. And I think we found out too that that's how they got sick. Either we got the pigs sick, so then they got us sick, or the pigs got us sick. It was one of that. So Carl tells Rick about what happened, how Kayla's teaching people how to use weapons, and I'm not supposed to tell you because she's afraid to tell her parents and they'll make them stop. And he thanks them for telling him and says that he won't say anything, he'll let her do her thing. And then he gives Carl back his gun, and it's a big happy moment. But then eventually we see Tyrese. We find out too that his girlfriend has has the flu now. And what happens is he brings flowers to her cell, and he finds blood in her cell. So then we see a trail of blood, and when he goes outside, he sees that her body and somebody else's body have been burnt by someone. Who? I don't know, but we'll find out. I'm going to watch the next one, and I'll tell you. I don't really know who it could be, but look, I'm even putting the TV on right now, but let's see who burnt these bodies. This was a good episode this week, and I think it's going to set up for next week with this infection thing, this flu thing. I don't know how long this will last, but we'll see. Oh, see, now that before I tried to make this video and it wouldn't stop, and now that I want it to stop, it won't stop.